Good morning, friends, and welcome to this morning's edition of your Monday Morning Espresso Shot. I'm so happy to have you all here with me today to share in the energy. And let us begin, as we always do, by placing our awareness in the area of the heart. Take slow, deep, gentle breaths. And imagine these breaths are flowing in and out of your heart, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than you normally would. And just allow your body to just feel every breath permeate your body. See if you can imagine these coming into your heart, and as you exhale, exhaling from your heart. Take these breaths even deeper if it suits you, if appropriate for you. And imagine the breaths flowing into your heart, down to your lower abdomen, right to your root chakra. And when you exhale, exhale from your root chakra. Imagine this happening up your lower abdomen and out through your heart and beyond you. Slow, deep, gentle breaths, filling up your oxygen with much needed fresh oxygen, your lungs with fresh oxygen, which then can be distributed to your 100 trillion cells in your body, nourishing them, awakening them, getting ready for the week. When your awareness drifts from your heart center, just gently bring it back to the heart center. This will happen often. Your awareness drifts away from the heart center, bring it back to the heart center, and allow yourself to gently draw those breaths in. Imagine them flowing into your heart, to your lower abdomen, to your root chakra or perineum, and exhale from that very gently, very slowly, and allow your body to expand as you're doing this. Now open your eyes if you had them closed. gently bring your awareness back to this room. You can continue breathing in this way, of course. And so we will, excuse me, we will begin the next segment, which is the topic for the week. And that is, why does God allow suffering? Um, this has been an interesting topic. It's a perennial topic. Everybody goes through this phase. Thought I'd explore this with you today. Is the concept of suffering in the world. We know that there's a lot of suffering that's going on in the world. There always has been, and there unfortunately always will be. So the suffering in the world that we're talking about is not the projected suffering. For example, when I was young, I was growing up, I would go visit my aunt in a rural town in Africa, and they had no electricity. They had running water, but they had to light kerosene lamps. They had very little in the form of amenities. But I enjoyed living with my aunt at that time. Going back to the other city, the city center, we had all kinds of amenities, electricity. We could go to the market. We could go. My grandfather would take me to the toy store. But when we went to this rural area, there's nothing much there. And so I always wondered, why did I feel happier and at home in this rural setting than I did over there? So really, when we're talking about suffering, we may think that people who live in these rural areas without amenities are suffering. That's not what I'm talking about today. Today's topic is about actual suffering when innocent people are being harmed. They're being, brutalized. The war in Ukraine and between Russia and Ukraine comes to mind. The refugee situation comes to mind. The Mexican issue when they were pouring into the United States, the South American issue that were pouring into the United States. All these people with children, they would walk thousands of miles, hundreds of miles, if not thousands, only to be turned back hungry. So why does God allow that suffering? So the question becomes, is God a punishing God? Is the universe punishing you for doing something that's and that's how we've all been brought up. We're born guilty, and we must repent, and only then we can go to heaven. There's a conditional invitation to be at the feet of God when you do good, and doing good is something that it's interpreted by other humans. They're saying this is what doing good means. This is what doing bad means. And if you think about this a little bit more. One must ask ourselves, what is the purpose of God? What is the purpose of life? And why do we have our ability to experience extreme emotions? Imagine if you went on a roller coaster ride and you only had, the enjoyment of the downward swing. In order to have the downward swing, you need to go up. So the idea of a roller coaster ride is the ups and downs and the balance in that particular sequence of events that allow you to go up and down. And you always return back to your normal resting position, but you go through these ups and downs. So the point is the design of the universe meant to punish and reward, or is the design of the universe meant to grant us the ability to experience the different textures of life? The other point is, if somebody's suffering, there is a built-in innate ability for every human being to reach out to that person. You and I know, if you've been here with me long enough, that when compassion takes place in your heart, that you begin to heal instantaneously. Your body begins to grow younger, and you become more instantaneous. You become you have a better life health span in your life when you have a lot of compassion. But how do you generate compassion if not serving others? And so these others who are suffering, who are not doing well, gives us who are not suffering as much as they are the opportunity to drive compassion in our hearts. And when we help and uplift them, they will have so much gratitude that they will feel compassion and they will be uplifted. And at some point, they will return the favor to us. This is a beautiful balance that we have in the universe, where there's this tilting of suffering and happiness, and then there's this tilting back and forth. And the less extreme we make both, the suffering in particular, the better we will be off will be. So I invite you now to, if you, with your lens of your eyes, you see somebody suffering, it's an opportunity for you to pick not only yourself up and begin the healing journey within, but it's also to help healing journey for them, so that they can amplify this healing to others when they see other people suffering. One last point. We know that many individuals are inspired through their suffering to do good. This is how some major breakthroughs have happened in life. So if it wasn't for suffering, we would not have some greater major breakthroughs. So one person's suffering can benefit 100 people if that person's able to break through things. Those are some things to think about. And in my world, there is no, in my viewpoint, there is no such thing as punishing God or rewarding God. There just is this universe that is allowing us to experience the different textures and inviting us to jump in with our hearts the way we were designed to do. All right, let us now take a moment now and get back into our hearts and take slow, deep, gentle breaths and experience them flowing into our hearts, breathing a little slower, a little gentler than we normally would. And at this point in time, let's be thankful for what we have, showing our gratitude and appreciation for everything that we have. No matter how much we are suffering, there's always someone there to uplift us. There's always something there to uplift us. And we know that it is only temporary. And so begin to tap into that universal source that says, bring me the help I need to overcome this suffering. And give gratitude for our access to this benevolent well of wisdom. Taking slow, deep, gentle breaths and experiencing them flowing in and out of our hearts. Perhaps you want to breathe right down to the root chakra and go right, imagine it's going right into the center of the earth, as Mother Gaia will provide lots of support as you exhale and bring that energy from Mother Gaia through your perineum, lower chakra, and your heart, and out from your heart. And so breathe in this way and experience gratitude as you're doing this. Deep connection and gratitude with all that is and nature. When your awareness drifts away from your heart, simply bring it back into that heart center and experience gratitude and appreciation for all the things we enjoy, for this community that we've brought together here. Either they're listening live now or they will be listening on the replay. This is a tremendous amount of gratitude, tremendous amount of gratefulness that we have the ability to access. Let us take note of every one of them. And let us invite more of this into our hearts. And if you had your eyes closed, you may open them now. We've had a wonderful 15 minutes of enriched communication. I'm happy to invite any comments or questions. And if you have to leave, that's fine too. Thank you so much for joining me if you have to leave. But certainly type your questions in and I'm happy to respond. And while you're doing that, I will inform you that the first three parts of the replay, freeing yourself from limiting beliefs, ready for your access if you're an Ignite member. If not, you may want to check out the low monthly fee for that. You can cancel at any time. Session 4 starts next Monday, 1 week from today at 11 o'clock. So I look forward to seeing our Ignite members join me live. And there's also live group coaching at the time. All right. If you need some support, one-on-one support, I'm happy to help you and support you in that way. All right. There are some questions or comments coming through, and I'll just quickly take a look to see what they are. Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you so much for joining me, sweet sister. Thank you so much. This could be Dawn, iPad. I think that's Dawn. Can I just say how much I appreciate this topic? Oh, yeah, wonderful. Nothing can be more misunderstood than the purpose of suffering, even asking if there is a purpose. I have found undoubtedly the truth. I have never grown so much as through suffering, been aware of, therefore become closer to God energy. As in a moment of suffering, it has most certainly allowed me to become more compassionate towards myself and others. Thank you. Gratitude indeed. Love and light, my friend. You know, that's a very good point. There you go. It's Dawn. Yeah, it's a very good point, Dawn. You know, you hear some of the monks in the Eastern kind of tradition. They believe in suffering. They believe in shedding all material wealth. They believe that suffering is what is a path to God. And, you know, there's truth in that, as Dawn has pointed out, but there's also this sense of, balance that needs to be struck. Do you want to renounce everything and walk the path? And, Buddha actually did that. Buddha actually was inspired to shed everything and walk the path, looking for the meaning of life. And of course, he shifted a perspective for many people, just like Christ did. You know, Christ suffered on the, because he wouldn't let go of his ideals. He truly believed in what he was doing, that it didn't matter what the consequences are. To us, that's suffering, perhaps being punished for thinking in that way. But to the individuals who are so motivated and inspired, to them, that inspiration in itself, they look to us as being as the ones suffering without having that godly inspiration, that deep well of love coming from the source that is so great and so powerful that anybody who does not experience that is really the one that's suffering. So thank you, Dawn, for bringing that to light. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. No other comments coming through, I see. Thank you once again for joining me today. And I wish you all the best, and I wish you mucho inspirations in your life. And so being inspired is my hope and wish for everyone in this world, and especially my family here. So thank you so much for joining me again. Cynthia, much gratitude to the universe, Mother Gaia, and you, Shamir, for what you're doing. No, much gratitude too. Thank you, Cynthia. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. And we'll chat with you next week. Same time, same place. Take care for now. Bye-bye.